So my most Pranash is Sabat Campus. Today I come with another Sesame Maya and our topic is helping others in need. So let's start.
Hey, how's the rest of your afternoon going?
Today my topic is helping others in need. So my first question is what does it really mean to help someone in need?
Yeah, that's a good one to start with. I think it goes beyond just like giving someone something they need, you know? It's about really seeing them, recognizing their dignity, even when things are tough. It's about offering support in a way that actually empowers them rather than making them feel less than. Does that resonate?
Okay, so my next question is why is it important to care about others, especially when they are struggling?
I'm not quite following about the necklace. Could you say that again? My audio cut out for a sec there, and I want to make sure I understand what you mean about it being important to hear about, especially when they're still.
My question is why is it important to care about others, especially when they are struggling?
Okay, gotcha. Specialists, meaning people with particular skills or expertise. That's a really thoughtful question. I think it's important because everyone, no matter how skilled or accomplished, goes through hard times. And honestly, those times can be especially isolating when you're someone people usually rely on. There's a pressure to always have it together, you know? Plus, when we support people in our areas of expertise, it allows them to continue contributing their gifts to the world. It's kind of a ripple effect. Helping someone thrive benefits everyone. Does that make sense?
Okay, so my next question is how do we recognize when someone needs help, even if they don't ask for it?
Ugh, that's the tricky part, isn't it? It's a real tightrope walk. You don't want to overstep or assume, but ignoring someone clearly struggling feels wrong. I think it's about offering small, low pressure gestures of support, like maybe just letting them know you're thinking of them, or offering to lend an ear if they ever want to talk. And sometimes just showing up, being present, can be enough, and maybe paying attention to their usual patterns. Someone's usually really chatty and suddenly goes quiet. That could be a sign something's up. But yeah, it's definitely about being gentle and respecting their boundaries. What do you think?
Okay, so my next question is what kinds of needs do people have besides money or food?
Besides needing food, which is obviously huge, people have so many different kinds of needs. It's kind of overwhelming when you really think about it. There's the obvious physical stuff like shelter and healthcare, but then there's emotional needs, feeling safe, loved, and connected. And then there's needs around purpose and belonging, like feeling like you're contributing something meaningful and being part of a community. And even things like needing autonomy and feeling like you have control over your own life. It's a whole spectrum, isn't it? You mentioned new food. Are you trying out something different?
Okay, so my next question is
Hey,
can
are
a
you still
small
there?
act of kindness really make a big difference?
Sometimes the connection gets a little wonky. No worries if you just needed a moment to think, though. Just wanted to check in.
Okay, so
Okay.
my next question is
Ah,
why does helping others feel so good inside?
that's a really lovely question. I think it's baked into us, honestly. There's a lot of research suggesting that helping others activates reward centers in the brain. It actually feels good on a biological level. Beyond that, I think it taps into something deeper. It gives us a sense of purpose, and it strengthens our connection to other people. It reminds us that we're not alone and that we're all in this together. It's kind of a full circle thing. We help others, and it makes us feel better, which then makes us more likely to help others again. It's pretty cool when you think about it. Have you noticed that feeling yourself?
Okay, so my next question is what is empathy and how does it guide us to help others?
Gotcha. Okay. You're saying that sometimes helping just isn't the answer or isn't what someone needs right then. That's really insightful. Sometimes just respecting someone's space is the most helpful thing you can do. And as for empathy, it's really the foundation for wanting to help in the first place, isn't it? It's the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. It's not just feeling sorry for someone, it's actually trying to step into their shoes and see the world from their perspective. And when you can do that, it naturally guides you to offer support that's actually meaningful to them. It prevents you from just projecting what you think they need onto them and allows you to respond with genuine compassion. Does that make sense? It feels like you're really grappling with some complex stuff today.
Okay, so my next question is how can we teach children to notice the feelings of others?
That's a really important question. I think it starts with creating a safe space where children feel comfortable expressing their own feelings without judgment. If they're taught that their emotions are valid, they're more likely to be able to recognize and respect the emotions of others. And it's also about modeling empathy ourselves, showing them how to listen actively, validate someone else's feelings, and respond with compassion. It's not about shielding them from difficult emotions, it's about equipping them with the tools to navigate those emotions in a healthy way. Do you think it's harder for kids now with everything going on in the world?
Okay, so my next question is how can we teach? So my next question is what should we do if we want to help but don't know how?
Okay, so you're asking how to actually put it into practice. What do you do when you genuinely want to help, but you're not sure where to start? That's a really common feeling. I think the first step is just asking. It might seem obvious, but sometimes we assume we know what someone needs and end up offering something that isn't helpful. A simple, is there anything I can do to help? Or how are you doing, really, can go a long way. And if they say no, respect that. You can also offer specific kinds of help, like, can I pick up groceries for you? Or can I watch the kids for an hour? Sometimes just being there to listen without offering advice is enough. It's about letting the person lead and being willing to follow their cues. It's not always about fixing things, it's about showing up. Does that feel right?
Okay, so my next question is how do we make sure we are helping in a way? What's kind not hurtful?
Whoa, okay, that's a lot all at once. It sounds like you're shifting gears a bit and talking about a friend, Monica, and an RV and food. I'm a little lost. Are you saying Monica is having a hard time leaving a situation and you're thinking about bringing an RV and some food? Could you maybe break that down for me? I want to make sure I understand what's going on before I offer any thoughts. Also, when you say hard food, do you mean comfort food or something else?
Okay, so my next question is how can parents or teachers encourage children to help others?
Right, back to the original topic. Okay, that makes sense. Focusing, yes. So, how can parents and teachers encourage kids to help others? I think it starts with modeling that behavior themselves. Kids are always watching, you know? If they see adults being kind and compassionate, they're more likely to emulate that. Also giving them opportunities to help age. Of course. I'm glad I could help. even if we took a little detour there. It was a really thoughtful conversation. Is there anything else on your mind right now? Or are you good for today?
Okay, so my next question is what are some simple ways children can help at home, school, or in their neighborhood?
Ah, excellent question. There are tons of little things kids can do. At home, even really young kids can help with things like putting away toys, setting the table, or feeding pets. At school, they could help a classmate who's struggling, volunteer to be a classroom helper, or participate in school cleanup days. And in the neighborhood, they could help rake leaves for an elderly neighbor, collect trash in a park, or donate old toys and clothes to charity. Even just offering a smile or a kind word can make a big difference. It's about showing them that even small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect. Does that give you some ideas? Everything
Okay,
right?
so my next question is why is sharing an important part of helping?
Somalia Kushmidza. That's a beautiful name. And you're absolutely right. Sharing is a really important part of helping. It's not just about giving away things you don't need. It's about recognizing that we all have something to offer. It could be our time, our skills, our resources, or even just our kindness. And sharing fosters a sense of community and connection. It reminds us that we're all in this together. It sounds like that's something you really value. Is sharing something that's important in your family?
Okay, so my next question is how can storytelling or media help kids just understand the value of helping
Kusin, got it.
others?
Okay, great. Glad to hear it. It was really nice talking with you today, Kusin. If you ever want to chat more about any of this, just let me know. Have a good one. Oh, are you still
Okay, so
there?
my,
Is
so my
everything all
next
right?
question: what role does school play in teaching
Whoa, okay.
children about service and kindness?
Okay, hold on. Lots happening there. You said you're a fool and that your cousin um does and then you asked about the role schools play in teaching service and kindness. It's a little hard to follow. Could you maybe untangle that a bit for me? I want to make sure I understand what you're getting at. It sounded like you were maybe being self-deprecating about something, but I'm not sure what. And I'm definitely happy to talk about the role of schools in teaching kindness.
Okay,
Are you
so
still
my
with
next
me?
question is what are some immediate examples of helping others that don't cost money?
Okay, so you're asking about negative examples, things that show helping going wrong or being unhelpful. That's a really good question and a brave one to ask. Sometimes helping can actually be harmful if it's done in the wrong way. For example, if you constantly solve someone's problems for them, you can prevent them from learning how to solve them themselves. That's called enabling. Or if you give someone charity but don't address the root causes of their poverty, you're just putting a band aid on a bigger problem. Another example is offering unsolicited advice. Sometimes people just need to be heard, not told what to do. Or even well intentioned interventions that are culturally insensitive or disrespectful. It's complicated, isn't
Okay, so my next question is how can we use our time or talents to support people in need?
it? Do you have a specific action in mind that you're thinking about? Kustin, are you still with me? It's okay if you need a moment to collect your thoughts. Just let me know. Sometimes the connection gets a bit spotty.
Okay, so my next question is how can listening to someone be a powerful form of helping?
Ah,
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, you're asking about the power of listening, specifically how to listen in a way that's really supportive and impactful. And you said empathic. Did you mean empathy? I think I understand the direction you're going. Truly listening, really hearing someone is huge. It's about paying attention not just to the words they're saying, but also to their body language, their tone of voice, and the emotions behind their words. It's about putting aside your own thoughts and judgments and just being fully present with them. And it's about validating their feelings, even if you don't necessarily agree with them. It's not about offering advice or trying to fix the problems. It's about creating a safe space where they feel heard and understood. Does that make sense? It really does sound like you're thinking deeply about all of this. Are you
Okay,
still there, Kusin? All right.
so my next
Well,
question
if you
is what's the difference between helping and doing everything
don't,
for someone? My question is what is the difference between helping and doing everything for someone?
between helping someone a little bit versus what? I think you trailed off. I'm happy to try and understand, but could you finish that thought for me? Perhaps you have an example in mind? Kusin?
Okay.
I'm still here.
So my next question is how can we support someone who going through a hard time emotionally?
Okay, you're asking how to spot someone who is struggling, but maybe not asking for help. That's a good one. It can be tricky. Often it's about noticing changes in their behavior. Are they withdrawing from social activities? Are they more irritable or anxious than usual? Are they neglecting their self care? Are they talking about feeling hopeless or overwhelmed? Sometimes it's subtle, like a change in their body language. They might seem more slumped or withdrawn. And it's important to trust your instincts. If something feels off, it's worth checking in with them, even if you're not sure what's going on. But, like we talked about earlier, it's also important to respect their boundaries and not push them if they're not ready to talk. Does that make sense?
Okay, so my next last question is give a message to my audience
Okay, so
on
you want me,
helping others in need.
okay, you want me to share a message with your audience based on everything we've talked about today? Something about helping others, empathy, listening. Got it. How about this? Hey everyone, we've been talking about what it really means to help someone, and it's so much more than just fixing their problems. It's about seeing them, hearing them, and respecting their journey. It's about offering a hand, but letting them lead the way. And remember,
Okay, so we were the further on today's Sesame Maya. I hope you like to see you.